let's talk about people on other planets real quick. Who wants to have that conversation?
I'll let Eric start that.
Okay.
No, let me
guess
introduce it. Let me introduce it. My two friends, Eric and David, and our other friend Tim, have started one of the sickest bands I've ever heard of in my life. Take it, Eric.
Okay, so this is a callback to my other story where I brought up my friend Tim Burke. He's still with us. So we, after high school, we worked at a little cafe together for maybe like a year. So that was probably like 2017. And then after we both left that job, we kind of like didn't really hang out. Nothing really happened. We just kind of like not fell apart. We just kind of had like we just grew apart a little bit for maybe like another year after that. And then we started hanging out again. Tim was showing me just some new stuff he was working on, and I was just like really blown away, just because he had started playing guitar without a pick, just kind of like flamenco strumming, and also he had changed his guitar tuning to away from standard. We don't even have a name for it because it's not really like it's not a regular tuning thing, and it gave it just really cool sound. He uses his whammy bar when he strums in a really cool way. Just gave it a really unique and interesting sound, and I was just kind of like blown away. I was like, oh, that shit is so fucking good. Like we gotta start doing stuff with this. And then it took it took maybe like another year before we actually started like sitting down and actually like writing and fleshing these things out. And the stuff we were writing, it was a little bit more out there in terms of music. We were kind of experimenting with shifting time signatures, shifting tempos, just like writing just kind of wonky stuff, I'll say.
Right. Well, because y'all were like really like stoked on like bands like Primus and stuff. Like
like, so it's pretty much birthed from our love of weird stuff like Primus, or my initial love for stuff like Rush and Yes, and those kinds of proggy things.
King Giz.
Tim's love for the same thing. Actually, it was funny. We didn't get into King Gizzard until we were already like writing all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
So we had a lot of this. It kind of so King Gizzard definitely helped us down that path, but we were already on that path before we discovered them. It was because we were on this path that we got so into them.
Yeah. But they were a big one.
Yeah, they definitely became a huge inspiration for us, especially with a lot of the time signature stuff. We needed we don't know many drummers, but we needed a drummer who could handle that kind of we pretty much wanted to torture David. So we wrote all these crazy songs, and we're just like, you know what, we just are sadists for drummers, and we really just want one drummer to just really, really suffer.
But little did they realize that I'm actually a masochist for that shit. Like, I love it. I was like,
so it was a match made in heaven. And our love for like we said, stuff like Rush and Genesis and stuff like that, like conceptual albums of the 70s, mixed with our recent discovery of King Gizzard and their album lore, inspired us to do like kind of like try out that kind of like a conceptual kind of progressive rock album.
Eric, do you remember what song you showed me first, or like what of this stuff you showed me first?
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was Postal Pete, because that was the first riff that Tim showed me. It sounded like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends on acid.
Yeah. I remember you were throwing around like, yo, we're going for like a space cowboy vibe. And I was like,
pretty much.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're calling it progressive punk space twang. Prog punk space twang is the genre that we're calling it, because we have no other, we really don't have anything else to call it.
What do you guys have on band camp right now? I know it's not a lot, but there's some stuff, right?
Yeah, we just have one. So yeah, the sad part is this spring, like from January up until March, we were at our most, like the three of us, we were firing on all cylinders. We were at our most what's the word? Our most productive. We were recording. We were in the studio with Ethan.
We're practicing.
The same producer who was working on our Shark Club stuff. We were booking shows. We played a handful of shows for the first time as that group.
One of which was at Cafe Lorraine.
Yeah, one of which was at his house.
Which I mean, I've been lucky. I'm one of the few lucky people in the whole world who have been able to see you guys play live. And you have so many great songs in your catalog that have yet to be released.
I wouldn't say so many.
How many do you think you guys have?
We can play for like 25 minutes tops. Well, the album that we're working on, it's completely written, and a lot of it is recorded. It's 9 tracks.
That and you know what? Just one of your songs, the complexity of it all, it's like the same for me writing like 6 songs for just to fit into one song. So yeah, I'd say you guys do have a lot of material in that regard.
But yeah, we were at our most productive. We were starting to play shows. We were making our way. We were making our way downtown.
And then
COVID happened. Corona happened, and we yeah, we're just kind of sitting on all this stuff now, waiting for David to be kind of open and not done with school, so we can continue recording and stuff. No rush. Just take your time.
it was just so hard because we were like, we had a system going with Ethan. You know, we were like working out of Drexel Studios, like another studio he had access to, and like it was sick. And we were like, we can do this. This is real. And then,
yeah. Well, it was especially frustrating for me and Tim, just because it had been like 2 or 3 years since Tim even showed me that first song, and then it took another year and a half, 2 years to even make a full version of that. And then all of a sudden we were moving so quick, and we had everything down, we were doing so good, and then like I know it's bigger than just us not being able to write our sick tunes, but it was a little bit of a bummer.
Sure. Well, I mean, we experienced it at Shark Club too. We were every weekend we'd make the trip to Philly to record our new album.